This is the Mahindra XUV700, which is available in 44 variants with the price range starting at 16.8 lakhs and going all the way to 33 lakhs for the top of the line diesel automatic with all-wheel drive. But this one is a lot more affordable because this is the base variant of the diesel. This is the MX, the other is the AX series, which is priced at a premium of around 2 to 2.2 lakhs because it gets Adrenox, which is basically connected car tech, a better infotainment system. However, the affordability of this car will blow your mind because just 18.27 lakhs for a car of this size. To put it into perspective, this car costs roughly the same as mid variants of the Seltos, Creta, Verna, Virtus and Slavia. In fact, this car costs a lot less when compared to the top end variants of the City, Elevate, even the Sonnet. Heck, this car even costs cheaper than Mahindra's own 3XO's top end variant, and 4 variants of the Nexon are actually more expensive than this particular car because the Nexon is available in 78 freaking variants. Isn't that crazy? So yes, this is all about value for money. So while this XUV700 is the entry level variant, one should never get entry level tires for their car, and that's the reason why I recommend the Apollo Aptera 82 tires for SUVs because they offer maximum comfort and high precision control. The Apollo Aptera 82 tires are very durable and made for all terrain applications. They help you unleash the performance of your SUV. Check the link in the description to know more. Coming back to the car, let's start with a walk around of this base variant of the XUV700. This is the key, which is the flip key, and the funny part is that both the keys are actually having buttons which are very much usable because the spare key in the Scorpio N does not have buttons or usable buttons. So yes, this seems more premium here. Meanwhile, this is the 7-seater version. You pay a premium of around 45,000 rupees for the 7-seater when compared to the 5-seater, and there's also a 6-seater version, but that is only in the top end variants because that gets the captain seat option. In fact, ESP is optional at around rupees 60,000, which is quite the premium for ESP. Now this one is the MX diesel, which is only available in manual variant. Yeah, the MX only comes with manual. There is no automatic available here, and straight away I'm going to be opening the engine bay to tell you that rupees 1 lakh is the premium for the diesel when compared to the petrol. There is insulation there. The engine seems quite noisy right now, but this is super heavy. Yeah, the hood is extremely heavy. The grille is the same as other models, which is a good thing. However, the lights are different because the shape might be the same, but there is no DRL. These are completely halogen, so there is no LED here. There is no fog lamp either, and there is no front camera, even though there is the provision for the same, but for the price, you can't really complain much about it. There is a towing hook right there. There are no front parking sensors. That is the panel which is used for the ADAS system, and there is no camera there for the ADAS system obviously, but that's something you really don't care about because for the price, this car is exceptional value for money because the size of the car remains the same as before. Tire size 235/60 by 17s. You get wheel caps here. You get the same size tires with alloy wheels on the AX5. Meanwhile, the higher variant, which is the AX7 and all, they actually get 18-inch wheels with 18-inch alloys, of course. And if you notice one thing, the door handles are inside, so you have to press them to bring them outside, and then they go back inside as well. In the higher end variant, it obviously comes out automatically with the press of a button. The tail lights are the same throughout for all the variants, which is a good thing, but this is actually halogen here, and you get one and two parking sensors because there is no rear parking camera here. There is no rear wiper washer, but they have sealed the washer right here. Get a roof spoiler with a high mounted stop lamp. You obviously get an antenna, you get roof rails as well, and the design actually looks quite smart. I really like Mahindra cars in white color. I think they look really very amazing. The exhaust is actually hidden right here, and the spare wheel is actually 155/90/18. It's not an alloy, it's small size. The suspension is actually very good, and that's one of the reasons why you would buy a lower variant of a car like this rather than buying a higher variant of a smaller car because of the suspension. Straight away, let's open the boot, which is, where's the button? Yeah, which is actually Chintu Mintu when you have all the seats up. However, with the seats down, well, there is good amount of space. In fact, you have got blower in the last row with blower controls as well, which is such a nice thing to have. Yeah, that's actually fantastic. And here you get the warning triangle, then the towing hook, then there's a Toyota Hilux trying to off-road right away. And well, let me put the seat back up, which is just pull it like this, and it actually has a recline angle as well, so you can recline it too. Well, this is best for children, not for adults. You get a cup holder right here, but the fact that it has got blower controls is just amazing. Yeah, fantastic. This feels super duper light. It is super duper light, which is okay. Yeah, weight reduction. And here is where the fuel goes in, and there's a specific slot to put the AdBlue as well. Now, how is the space? Well, it is the same as the higher variants, because obviously the size of the car is the same. Now, to tumble this, it's quite easy. You pull it like this and there it tumbles. So easy accessibility to the third row. But let me try and get inside and show you that the third row isn't the best for adults. Even though when compared to the XUV500, the wheelbase has increased by approximately 50 mm. But look at this, there is absolutely no space here. Feels quite claustrophobic. Oh my god, there is a 12-volt charging socket here, which is quite nice. Let me get out, so I can just pull this lever right here and then it tumbles, which is very nice. One touch tumble, 40-60 split. This is not adjustable, the center headrest, but it gets a small center headrest and adjustable headrest everywhere. Handle to hold on to, there's a hook as well. So yeah, quite practical in that regard, and that is the real benefit here of the size of the car. There you have big door pockets, but a lot of scratchy and hard plastics obviously. Let's put this back into place. Is there a recline angle? Yes, there's a recline angle for this seat as well, for which I have to push it like that. Yeah, that's quite reclined, which is good. Tumbling it down is also easy. Space is good here. Under thigh support is decent, not the best. Headroom is better here because of no sunroof. Meanwhile, hook, handle, height adjustable seat belts. There is no airbag on the side because this car gets 2 airbags. High variants actually get 7 airbags, and you get a USB-C charging socket and a phone holder as well. Magazine pockets here scooped out, same is the case there as well. Lot of plastic because obviously this is a customer car. There's a light placement here, and the dashboard design is a bit different because this obviously misses out on a lot of stuff, and this is the only variant of the car which actually gets the smaller screens. So you are better off paying that 2.2 lakh premium to get the AX trim, because obviously you get the bigger screen, then the screens obviously transform the whole experience of this particular car. Why is this blank? Why there's nothing written right there? Now, this particular car has the essential features which you would expect at this price point, but then obviously smaller and cheaper cars, rather smaller, compact, jacked up hatchbacks have a lot more features. Seats are actually very comfortable, height adjustable as well. High variants obviously have electric adjust here, which is not needed actually, because I can adjust my own seats. Meanwhile, you get a proper dead pedal, no keyless entry or push button start, and this is actually to adjust this screen right inside here. It gets the stop start system, which is good. That's the headlight leveler, and something is missing here because there are no buttons on this side, but there are buttons here for the audio system. Now straight away I'm wondering what is this switch for, because there seems to be no fog lamps in this car, and all of the power windows actually get illumination, which is quite surprising. This is to open and close the outside rear view mirrors, the ORVMS, but this is not there in this particular variant. So it has this dummy right there, shows you the Mahindra logo. If I press this, there it starts. So is it not very bright right now? Can you see it? Okay, because obviously there's a plastic on top. Radio, Android Auto, which is wired, music, phone. That's about it. Not much. This is an 8-inch screen. Otherwise, the XUV700 comes with a 10.25-inch screen. There's no reverse parking camera. There's Android Auto, which I was already telling you about. Let's listen to some audio right away. Audio quality is so because this gets a 4-speaker system. Higher variants actually get a 6-speaker system, and the top end variant gets a 12-speaker system from Sony with an amplifier as well. This cluster is straight from the Scorpio N. I love it because analog tachometer, analog speedometer. You have a display in the center which gives you a lot of information which you have to browse through using the switches on this particular side, and it gives you a ton of information here. So that is a 7-inch screen right there in the center, which is quite nice. Wiper controls and lot of physical buttons. This is for the air conditioning. Again, this will remind you of the Scorpio N. So a lot of stuff coming from the Scorpio N. There's a small cubby hole here. There's a cup holder right here. There's a Creta key as well. In the higher variants, obviously you get this much better design, and you get electric parking brake as well, so space is better there, the way the space has been done. It says passenger airbag there. It has a USB-A charging socket, no USB-C here. Phone holder, no wireless charging pad as well. I mean, just comparing it with the higher variants of the XUV700, good amount of storage here. Yeah, this is not cooled, and the glove box is very big. Yeah, it's decently big, along with a shelf on the top as well. No leather here, which is there on the higher variants. Now you won't feel bad that this does not get an auto dimming mirror, because even the high variants do not get an auto dimming mirror. There's a light placement here. It also gets follow me home headlamps, which is a cool feature to have. And you get a mirror here. You don't get any mirror or anything of that sort right there. So the cabin is actually quite functional. The design is nice, but you will definitely miss the bigger screens, which are obviously available in the high variants of this car. The Adrenox system, which unfortunately is not there. The horn is a bit meek. There is no tweeter here, although the design is definitely there. It does not get it. And yeah, the overall aesthetics of the cabin feel quite nice, but does it drive any different when compared to the high variant? Let's start driving right away. Okay, I'm going to turn off the car, and as soon as I do that, band ho ja bhai, lock it. It says goodbye right there. So I'm going to unlock it and I'm going to turn on the car. Actually, now the key ring is illuminated. It does a full swipe up here, which is quite cool. We'll turn off the air conditioning. Oh, it's saying check tire direction, which is also nice. In fact, if I open the door, it shows me exactly which door is open, but it shows the car with a sunroof here, panoramic sunroof, which is not there in my car, so I'm a bit disappointed. Low fuel, because we have no fuel today, unfortunately. The door pockets are actually quite big. It even has an umbrella holder in the door pocket, which is quite nice, like umbrella holder, because it's going to rain anytime soon, so that's something I definitely appreciate. In fact, it has got isofix child seat mounts as well, and there's a rear center armrest as well, which is nice. Handbrake down into first gear. There is no ESP or traction control to turn off. Revving the motor, revs till 3000 RPM. Before that, I think let's change the cluster mode, because I remember from the Scorpio there are some interesting bits which we can see in the cluster, like power and torque meters. There it is, and revving the motor, 3000 RPM. A little bit wheel spin and off we go. Red line comes in at around 4800 RPM. Gearing is actually short. I think that's done for better performance, because Mahindra is always focused on performance over efficiency. Ride is actually good, not the best, but still good enough. And the steering is really crazy light here. So over bumps, no problem at all. First and foremost, this car feels like a big car to drive, which is just amazing. And that's why it feels bang for the buck. This is more car per car without any doubt whatsoever. The steering is super duper light. Like, look at this. It's very, very light a steering wheel here, but it weighs up decently well at high speeds. So it gets frequency selective damping, which is very good, because of which the suspension does a fab job in terms of offering you good ride quality. In fact, the performance is also decent enough. Now this 2.2 liter diesel engine produces 155 horsepower and 360 Newton meters of torque. The higher variants, which also have drive modes, have zip, zap and zoom, where the zip mode actually has 155 horsepower. Otherwise, that's 185 horsepower and I think 400 Newton meters of torque, which goes to 420 Newton meters of torque in the automatic, 450 Newton meters of torque. Something of that sort. I'm getting confused, but that does not matter, because performance is actually very impressive, even in something like this, which is like the base variant. And I don't know what's happening right in front. No ADAS here, no connected car tech, which is good, because I don't like either of those things and I never use them either. But performance is so nice, yaar. It's actually quite surprising how good this car is in terms of acceleration. Yeah, there's some amount of turbo lag lower down, but in the mid-range it feels nice. Doesn't have a top end as such, typical character of most Mahindra engines, where the top end is quite lacking, but the mid-range punch is actually very good here. And the steering is light, the clutch is also light, but it's not very progressive. Feels a bit restrictive when coming up, so doesn't do that very smoothly. Gearbox is decently slick shifting, and I'm just going to short shift and drive it right now. Okay, someone has turned on the screensaver. We are into 6th gear right now. Fuel efficiency you can expect somewhere between 10 to 15 kilometers per liter depending on your driving style. This car weighs almost 2000 kgs, doesn't feel its weight at all, so it's quite light there. Now the petrol is actually cheaper by 1 lakh rupee, and the petrol is crazy. Power is like mad there. 200 horsepower and 380 Newton meters of torque in the petrol, which is mind-blowing to say the least. But the MX is not at all available with automatic transmission options. Automatic is convenient, not very fast shifting. Oh, everybody's left. Let's go. Oh, that's quite a lot of wheel spin. Top speed, well, this car will do 180 kilometers per hour. The petrol will touch 200 kilometers per hour. This car will actually do 180 kilometers per hour. The more powerful diesel with 185 PS will easily do 195 kilometers per hour. So we have fast cars. I'm talking about real world speed. Otherwise, it crosses 200 kilometers per hour quite easily. This car is quite fast. It's also decently efficient. Has a 60-liter fuel tank as well. And the thing I like the most is the handling, because it's light, nimble, easy, agile. Yes, it is a bit top heavy. It has body roll, but you're not really going to worry about body roll in this car, because it actually does drive well, handles decently well, and the steering weighs up quite well at high speeds. In fact, high speed stability is also very impressive. You can keep high speeds. I can tell you, I've driven this car at 200 kilometers per hour on Mahindra's test track, and it's absolutely phenomenal. The brakes, brakes could be better. ABS seems a bit too abrupt. Anyways, let's take a U-turn where I'll show you. It's so easy. Look at this, okay? Okay, tires making too much sound. Just wheel spin to glory here. Now, if you have a fuel station, then you can obviously get the petrol, say 1 lakh rupee today, and spend a lot more money in terms of running costs, because obviously the petrol isn't very efficient. 2-liter turbo petrol engine, dang injection. Fantastic motor, good on performance, but not very good in terms of efficiency. And then when I give indicator, it has this chime which I can change from the inside, which is also quite cool, huh? So some of these features in this car are actually very impressive for a base variant, because the cluster looks lovely to me. It reminds me of my Scorpio N, which also has this beautiful cluster. Never get rid of this cluster. It's just amazing. Okay, there's no clutch lock. You can directly turn on the car, and steering is only adjustable for height, not for reach. And off we go. A little bit of wheel spin there. So this being the MX is available in 5 single tone colors. Otherwise, the 700 is available in 7 single tone colors and 5 dual tone color options. So 12 colors, which is quite a lot. I don't think many people buy the MX. Most people actually opt for the AX, because when you take a loan on this car now, the EMI difference won't be much when you opt for a higher variant, and it makes more sense to opt for the higher variant because you get those big screens from the factory, and those screens are just amazing. This screen is a bit too small and a bit too out of place here, because this panel in between is what is happening. Wipers also work decently well here, but they should give me auto dimming mirror in the higher variant, which will definitely happen with the update of the XUV700. Although they are launching newer variant, they had this new color which had come. Now they have some blaze edition with red inserts here and there. So Mahindra has stretched the number of variants unnecessarily in this car, leading to some amount of confusion for buyers. But let me tell you, instead of buying that car, you can buy this one and get more bang for your buck. And that guy's not even put his wiper down. But yeah, the 700 in the MX variant I thought won't be that impressive, but trust me, it has really impressed me, because in terms of performance, in terms of the way it drives, everything is similar. In fact, it rides better than the earlier XUV700s which I had driven, because driving the higher end variant, you get bigger wheels with slightly lower profile tires, 60 profile here, 65 profile. That 5 profile makes slight difference, not a world apart, but trust me, it makes a difference. And yeah, I'm missing the full screen because of the blind view monitor and all that, but I love the cluster. I absolutely love it. Reminds me of the Toyota Land Cruiser, obviously. Okay, let me adjust the mirror. Electric adjust, which is a good thing. Speed sensitive door lock, putting the handbrake down, driving the motor. Always ready to wheel spin. Let's go through some corners. Yeah, there is roll, but it feels quite predictable and wheel spins like mad. Sometimes now the gearbox doesn't slot into place, so that's a bit of an issue. But for the most part, now you're actually going to enjoy driving this car, and definitely feels more enjoyable than other options at this price point. So with the MX, Mahindra might not be offering many features, but for the price, I think this car is bang for the buck. And then the wheel spin, oh my god, so amazing. This engine is amazing too. Mahindra has made it themselves. They have not gone to Jeep and borrowed it from them, which means that Mahindra knows how to make engines, unlike some car brands which actually go to Jeep and de do na mere ko 2-liter diesel, de do, mujhse nahi banne wala. So while this car is the base variant, it does drive similar to the more expensive variants, because mechanically it is very much similar as well. Now, if you had to buy an XUV700, I would definitely recommend to splurge a bit more and get higher end variants. But if you're on a budget, this car does offer you a lot more car for small car money. Technically small car money, because those compact jacked up hatchbacks are actually become very expensive now. So let me know in the comment section below, what would you rather choose? A fully loaded smaller car or an unloaded or a base variant of a bigger car like this XUV700 MX variant? Let me know by commenting below, and don't forget to check out the amazing Apollo Aptera 82 tires for SUVs. Again, the link is in the description. Bye bye.